Hey, my friend. Welcome. Have you noticed something shifting in the way people look at you lately? Not just in the mirror, but in their eyes. There's a pause, a double take, a silent curiosity. People are picking up on something different about you, but they can't quite put it into words. The funny thing is, neither can you. It's not that you changed your hair. It's not a new outfit or a new way of standing. This isn't about surface level change. What they're seeing, what you're beginning to feel, is something deeper. You've started loving yourself differently. You're seeing yourself the way God always saw you. Not as a problem to fix, but as a masterpiece to finally uncover. You're not becoming attractive. You're just finally noticing that you already were. This isn't a transformation, it's a homecoming. A remembering. A return to the truth that you were never flawed, just hidden beneath layers of doubt, shame, and the noise of everyone else's opinions. You used to call them imperfections. Now you see intention. You used to shrink when someone gave you a compliment. Now, you don't flinch. Not because you're arrogant, but because deep down, you agree. You finally agree, and that's the shift. This is what it looks like when your self-image begins to align with heaven's image of you. When you dare to consider that maybe, just maybe, God didn't mess up when He designed your face. Your presence, your energy. Maybe you were never off track, just offbeat in a world obsessed with fitting in. You just started seeing it, and that knowing. That deep, inner agreement. That's what people are responding to. That's the frequency they're feeling, even if they can't name it, because beauty isn't just symmetry. It's resonance. It's not just what someone looks like, it's how they make you feel in their presence. And right now, you are resonating on a level that even your body can't ignore. Your eyes look brighter. Your skin has this glow that wasn't there before. Your expression carries a peace that no product can create. That's not just a new skincare routine, that's God showing up on your face. That's what happens when you stop rejecting your own reflection. When you stop begging the world to love you, and start radiating love from the inside out. When you realize your worth has never been about perfection, but about presence. About purpose. About the divine breath in your lungs and the light in your spirit, and yes, some people will notice the shift, but they won't about your routine or started some new practice. But what really happened is this: you started listening to truth. You stopped chasing the world's idea of attractive. And you started becoming magnetic. You stopped trying to be liked, and started loving yourself with the same sacred reverence that God used when He created you. And that hits different, this glow. It's not surface level. It's not a filter. It's so deep, people feel it even if they don't say anything. They sense the calm in your spirit, the groundedness in your step. And without knowing why, they feel safe. They feel inspired. Not because you said something profound, but because you're no longer drowning in self-doubt. And whether or not they tell you, they notice, you're no longer out here trying to be seen. You see yourself now. And that shows up. That radiates. You can't fake this frequency. You can't manufacture this kind of beauty. It walks into a room before you do. It lingers in the air after you leave. And it's not about the way you look, it's about the way you are. It's the kind of light that leaves people wondering, because for the first time in a long time, or maybe ever, you're not shrinking to fit into small spaces anymore. You're not watering yourself down to be more palatable. You've stopped trying to be everyone's cup of tea, and you've become living water meant to refresh the right people. You're no longer seeking attention, you've become attention in motion. So yeah, don't be surprised when people start acting differently around you. It's not that you changed overnight, it's that you finally stopped fighting your own light. You stopped arguing with your own glow. You started walking in agreement with the design God already had in mind, and not everyone will know what to do with that. Some will stare. Some will get quiet. Some will act like you've done something strange. But that's not on you. That's on them trying to process the presence of someone who's done the deep work, the inner healing, the sacred remembering, because your energy used to feel a little shaky. You carried yourself with disclaimers, with apology, with hesitation, but now,
Because
you
you
walk
finally
like someone who
believe you do.
belongs, and when that belief settles into your bones, when your body knows what your soul's been whispering all along, everything changes. Your voice gets steadier. Your silence gets softer. Your presence expands. And yes, it starts showing up in your eyes, in your skin, in your walk. It's not about looking a certain way, it's about living a certain way, and that way is love. You're not out here chasing love anymore, you're rooted in it. And honestly, that's the most attractive thing a human being can wear. This journey you're on, it's not about becoming beautiful. It's about realizing you always were, and now your body knows it. Your face shows it. Your walk carries it. You're not radiating because you stumbled upon some secret formula. You're radiant because you're finally aligned with your truth. There's no more inner conflict, no more tug-of-war between who you were told to be and who you actually are. Your glow isn't hesitant anymore. It's steady. It's settled.
There's no shame left in
It's
your softness.
No apology in your elegance. You're not dressing yourself up for attention. You're not trying to impress or convince. You're simply reflecting something real, something rare. You're reflecting you, and that's why people are drawn to you now. They feel it before they understand it. It's the way your energy speaks without words, how it wraps around a room and shifts the atmosphere. They might not know what changed, but they can't ignore that something did, and the truth, it's not that you changed who you are, it's that you stopped hiding who you are. There's a massive difference. You stopped dimming your light to make other people comfortable. You stopped contorting yourself to fit into boxes you were never meant to squeeze into. You finally said, I'm not going to shrink to be digestible. I'm going to expand to be free. And when you walk in that kind of freedom, when your soul isn't trying to fit a mold but is finally standing in its full shape, it radiates. You don't have to defend it. You just are. And that just being sends ripples through the spaces you enter. You're not everyone's flavor. You never were, but now you've made peace with that. You're no longer trying to be liked by everyone, because you understand, you were never designed for mass approval. You were designed for alignment. For purpose. For sacred connection with the right people, the right places, the right timing, and now, because you're in alignment, you're magnetic to the ones who were meant to feel you all along. So if people look at you differently, let them. If they seem thrown off, let them. You're not responsible for their confusion. You're not here to make sense to everyone. You're here to walk in the kind of confidence that doesn't need to shout, because it's rooted in something higher. Something eternal. You've stopped arguing with your own radiance. You've stopped questioning whether you're worthy of love, or attention, or softness, or joy. You know now, suddenly decided you were enough. Not because someone finally validated you, but because you remembered that the one who made you already called you enough from the very beginning. That changes everything, and you can see it in the way you carry yourself now. You're not leading with fear anymore. You're not entering rooms with an apology in your eyes. You're not constantly scanning for approval or acceptance. You walk in like someone who belongs, not because you've earned it, but because you've owned it. That kind of presence. It's powerful, and it's peaceful. It's what happens when you make peace with your reflection. When you stop criticizing the person in the mirror and start honoring them. When you forgive yourself for all the years you couldn't see your own value. When you stop mourning the version of you that only knew how to survive, and start celebrating the version of you that's learning how to thrive. This version of you isn't a performance, it's been buried under pressure, expectations, and pain. But now it's rising. Now it's taking the lead. And you can feel the difference. Your energy feels different, your pace feels different, even your silence feels different, because you're not hustling for worthiness anymore. You're resting in it. You're not out here pretending to be confident, you're embodying it. You're not bending, blending, or shape-shifting to get picked. You've stopped waiting to be chosen, because you already chose yourself, and ironically, that's the very thing that makes you magnetic now. You dropped the weight of needing to be liked, and picked up the truth of being loved. Not just by others, but by God. And finally, by you. That's a whole new frequency. That's a different kind of glow, people feel it. Even if they don't say anything, they don't know what it is, but they know something has changed. Your presence used to be filtered through fear. Now it's laced with peace. You used to show up with disclaimers. Now you show up with clarity. There's no longer a war between your soul and your self-image. You've made peace with your beauty, and now, your whole being reflects that agreement. You don't walk the same when you know who you are. You don't talk the same when you're not questioning your worth. You don't move the same when you realize your value has nothing to do with being perfect and everything to do with simply being present. You're not dressing up to hide anymore. You're showing up to shine, and this shine. It's not for approval. It's not for attention. It's not even for recognition, it's for remembrance. It's you saying, I finally remember who I am. And that remembering, that's what they're responding to. That's what they're sensing when they glance your way and can't look away. When they stumble over their words. When they feel something in your presence they can't explain. It's not about your hair, it's not about your angles, it's your energy, it's the frequency of self-love. The vibration of peace. The echo of the Creator's love in every step you take, and it speaks louder than words. You've made a decision, and it shows. You chose to stop molding yourself into what others find comfortable. You chose to stop dimming your light for rooms too small to hold it. You chose to shine, not to be seen, but because it's your nature to shine. You don't need to defend it. You don't owe anyone an explanation. This version of you doesn't live for permission anymore. You've graduated from trying to prove you're worthy, and now you just are, because you finally believe it, that quiet radiance. That soft strength. That unshakable presence. That's what happens when someone walks in agreement with their own divinity. With their design. With the truth that they were never made to compete, only to be. You're not chasing validation. You're not striving for acceptance. You've stopped outsourcing your worth to other people's opinions. You're not looking for love anymore, you're living from it. You don't walk through the world the same after that. You don't get thrown by silence, or shaken by side eyes, or rattled by the room's opinion. Because you've already decided, I am enough. As I am. Fully. Freely. Finally. You've made peace with your reflection, and that peace. It's contagious. People feel safer around you now. Not because you said the right things, but because you're being the right energy. You carry wholeness. You carry freedom. And even if they can't name it, they're drawn to it. Some won't know what to do with you, they'll look twice. They'll stumble over compliments. They might even act like you've changed. But the truth is, you're just clearer. You've stopped hiding. You've stopped apologizing. You've stopped shrinking into the shadows of self-doubt. This is the real you, the you that's been buried under layers of survival. The you that's finally breathing freely. The you that isn't scared to be soft and powerful, gentle and fierce, kind and unapologetic, that version of you. That's the one people can't stop noticing. That's the one whose presence lingers after the conversation ends. That's the one who walks into a room, and something shifts, and here's the beautiful part, you're not doing it for them, you're not performing, you're not manipulating your energy to be noticed or praised. You're not crafting an image to be desired. You're simply being. You, and that you is magnetic, because there's no desperation in your glow anymore. No neediness. No insecurity masquerading as charm. What people are feeling isn't your need for attention, it's your embodiment of truth. They feel the peace you've made with yourself. They feel the clarity of someone who's no longer in a tug-of-war with their worth, and that's rare, that's sacred. You don't need to adjust your brightness to make others comfortable. Your light isn't here to fit into dim rooms. It's here to transform them. To awaken something. To remind people what divine beauty actually looks like, and how it feels. You're not trying to outshine anyone. You're just no longer hiding, and there's a difference. You've realized that your glow isn't a threat. It's an invitation. An invitation for others to see what it looks like when someone honors who they are, loves themselves fully, and walks in alignment with the Creator's vision. you become a living example of what happens when someone stops waiting to be chosen and starts choosing themselves. And that's why people are drawn to you now. Not because of perfection, but because of presence, but because you've finally embraced what's already impressive about you, your authenticity, your freedom, your light. So let them stare, let them wonder, let them be curious. You're not becoming someone new. You're just revealing who you've always been, and now, the world is catching up. Now, everyone else is starting to see what God saw all along. So keep shining, keep walking in that peace, keep honoring your reflection, not because it's flawless, but because it's faithful. Faithful to your journey. Faithful to your purpose. Faithful to the divine beauty that can't be manufactured, only remembered. And when people look at you and feel something they can't explain, smile, or the filter, or the angle, it's the frequency, it's the vibration of self-love echoing the love of your Creator, it's the soundless sound of someone who decided to stop hiding, and that sound, that frequency, that glow, it's unforgettable. So thank you for taking this journey with me. If something in this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure to subscribe so we can keep growing, keep rising, and keep remembering who we truly are. Your awakening is only just beginning. Choose the video on your screen that resonates with your spirit, and I'll see you there. Stay radiant. Stay rooted. Stay you.